all, welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's largest platform for entrepreneurs. We bring you anything and everything that matters to you, the entrepreneur. I'm Sunanda Jayaseelan. Tonight, I'm in conversation with HP. Ketan, thanks for taking the time to join us here on the Leaders of Tomorrow. I want to start by first trying to get a sense of what 2020 was like for you, both personally and professionally.
Firstly, thank you for having me on the show. 2020, like what all of us faced and all businesses faced, was a very challenging year. And it was no different for us at HP2. But more importantly, we were also challenged with the fact that with pandemic coming in, we had to enable a lot of business continuity plans for our customers as they changed their working from offices moving to homes. And that was a massive shift, which was also coming from the fact that there was a huge demand surge in the industry for our products like computing and printing, which we had to take care of while ensuring business continuity plan enablement for our customers. Now that was a huge challenge for us because we had to enable working from home of hundreds and thousands of employees across our various customer sites. So that was a very, very daunting and challenging task. The second thing was that as things on learning moved to homes, and also small businesses which wanted to really work from home didn't have technology enablement, we had to enable them from scratch, small businesses as well as students and teachers, to learn and enable learning from home. Now, those were some massive changes in the shifts which happened last year. And in our printing business also, we had to move business from office printing to home printing. And those shifts were very critical for us in order to really make sure that how we enable business continuity as well as enable learning for everyone. But I'm very happy to say that after all these challenges, what HP managed in calendar year 2020 in personal systems, we remain market leader with 28.7% market share. And in our printing business, we are at 40.2% share for calendar quarter 4, 2020. Now, this is a testimony of what we deliver to our customers. And we're very happy. More than the outcomes of the shares is about the way we enabled our customers to really be resilient in these times and ensure that their business continuity happened. So we as HP are very excited that as a company of innovators, inventors, and creators, we are uniquely positioned to shape the future through technology intervention, and also transforming businesses for our customers and partners, but more importantly also having ethos of making sure that we don't forget the role of companies like us into sustainable impact, of really making sure that how we are contributing to people, planet, and communities. And 2020 was a year which actually taught us more than ever in our lives. On personal front, I moved back from Singapore to India mid of last year. It was an interesting journey like anyone would move in these times. And I'm happy that I'm back home, settled very well, and able to run the show in these times. As I said, the year was very, very interesting, both professionally and personally.
In a recent conversation, you said that you're expecting phenomenal growth to come from segments like laptops. Where is that really, likely to come from, given the fact that a lot of people are working from home? Do you expect that perhaps is going to drive more sales for you? What could you tell us?
Technology is becoming a nerve center of how the future of work would look like. Pandemic, no pandemic, vaccination, the speed of vaccination, whatever happens in the world, the way working is going to happen in the future is changing forever. So we are in the environment of what I call as hybrid workplaces. And hence it's very important that technology becomes a nerve center for everyone to really adopt, because that's how you enable hybrid work and hybrid workforces. And I see optimism because in 3 vectors we feel businesses are really going to really transform. Number one, how the future of work is going to really completely transform, as I said, right? As with distributed workforces, customers are really looking at enabling their people from various different locations, and that poses very different kind of challenges and opportunities for companies like us who are into core businesses like computing and printing. And some of our categories like computing are becoming essential for everyone to really operate in this environment. And that gives me tremendous level of optimism that our products categories will have huge demand, which will be continued across sectors of enterprise and SMB as businesses needs to thrive by using technology at the center stage. The second pillar is about learning from home, right? The future of learning, I would say, in that sense. The future of learning is also changing forever completely. Even if things come back to normal and schools are open back physically, and I hope it happens soon, the way digital learning intervention is going to happen in the future makes some of our product categories across compute and print at the center of how learning happens. And that's where we have to do a lot of work in that area, and we are doing tremendous work already, and that's another opportunity area for us. The third area is about future of entertainment. Imagine today all of us now are on personalized screens. With last 1 year, people not going to movie theaters, OTT had become a huge portion of our lives in terms of how we used to entertain, but everybody want personalized screens. And that's where we come into play, where you have personalized screening experiences and how we are enabling entertainment experience through our products. And within the entertainment, there is a subsector of how you really take care of your needs when you are not able to physically go out in a lockdown situation, or you want to really make sure that you are getting entertained. Gaming is becoming a center stage of everything what customer does today to really relax and get the stress out of your life, as working from home can be very, very intriguing and can create a lot of fatigue over a period of time. And hence gaming is becoming also very, very important as future of entertainment. So we feel that all these three areas are potential growth opportunities in terms of how we design our products, solutions, and services. And more importantly, we are very excited about the fact that apart from our products, there is a huge layer of services opportunity, because in all these three areas which I spoke about, there is a lot of need of very customized services intervention. For example, as you work from home, needs of connectivity, needs of security, because as you're looking at public Wi-Fi or home Wi-Fi, there are a lot of vulnerabilities related to securities. And how can we really enable through our services portfolio the right level of security for our customers so that they can operate from anywhere without worrying about the threats of cybersecurity. And then device management of operating, like imagine yesterday we were deploying devices into one office, maybe 10,000 users. Tomorrow we are doing it at 10,000 different homes. And that brings in a tremendous level of another services stream for us in terms of how we enable that across 10,000 different locations rather than deploying 10,000 devices into one location. So all these three vectors, as I see, as a huge opportunity, and company like us has to play a pivotal role in enabling this for our customers in across our products, solutions, and services.
Give us a sense of what you're doing to tap that demand, Ketan, because small businesses, they respond and behave very differently compared to what enterprises do. So how are you perhaps meeting that demand?
Yeah, we firmly believe on insights-based innovation. We just don't want to offer technology just for the sake of it. And hence we did a study on how SMB needs are changing in these times. And we came across three main areas where their needs were really coming. It's about needs of online tools, helping them to operate remotely, and the third is about consulting and coaching them in terms of how they need to transform their business in this times. And when we looked at all their fundamental needs of how SMB needs are changing, we realized that companies like us play a very important role in enabling all their needs, what I just spoke about. And that's where products of our compute, our printing, and a lot of our services portfolio come into a very, very different level of play of how we want to enable SMBs. Now, SMBs are the backbone of our economy. And one of the challenges which India has faced always is they never digitized to the level to really compete effectively globally. And last 12 months, they realized the importance of adopting technology in order to be resilient and even relevant for the future. And that's why we're coming up with products which are absolutely suitable for this sector. So we have a portfolio which is suiting the needs of small and medium businesses across our compute and printing. And apart from the product, one of the biggest needs they have is they don't have IT expertise. So they really need experts from companies like us to really size their IT infrastructure well. They don't want to overspend, they don't want to underspend, but they are very, very tight in terms of how their budgets are and how we as a company are adding value by sizing the right level of equipments and not just retrofit to every customer, everything. So we want to really customize solutions for each customers to really suit their needs. So once we understood, we have really thought on three areas where we can really enable SMBs. Number one, right products to take care of their needs, as I spoke about, right level of financing or pay-per-use kind of model, and then on top, how can we become an IT consultant and really give the right level of services layer in order to really make sure that they focus on their business and their customers while we take care of their tech needs to really enable them to be globally competitive, which is very, very important in these times.
Let me slip into a short break on that note, Ketan. We're back in just a moment. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow Icons. Today, I'm in conversation with Ketan Patel of HP India. I want to read some figures that I picked up recently. IT expenditure by SMB for 2018 in the US was about $186 million. China in that same period was about $56 million. So in terms of expenditure, how do Indian SMEs really compare? What can you tell us?
So as I just said, right, a while back, there are 70 million SMEs in India. And one of the big challenges SMEs were facing is they never adopted technology ahead of the curve. And that was one of the areas which was always an area to be looked at. And last 12 months, as I said, they realized the importance of adopting technology more than ever before. And that's where I see this massive jump and the surge in demand, which I also spoke about earlier, is coming from the fact that all the SMEs are now getting digitally ready, creating the right level of digital ecosystem. They understand their employee experience also has to change because they also need employee engagement and the right level of productivity and collaboration to be successful. So how are they really putting all these things together in order to really be relevant is very important. And that's where, as I said earlier, we play a very pivotal role in really enabling that. And we see a huge amount of engagement right now from SMEs in terms of really wanting to get the right level of employee engagement and productivity and enabling the hybrid workforce. And then also adopting a lot of tools around cloud, applications, software, and the right level of hardware to be relevant globally. And I'm very happy the way even Atmanirbhar Bharat has been really enabled by the government of India. It will really help MSMEs because that kind of initiative will give boost to MSME sector in order to really enable them for really looking at not only growth locally, but also how can they really make sure that they are the ones who can really do business across the globe. And that's a huge opportunity, both for India as an economy, MSME as a sector, and then companies like us who do business with this sector.
In the recent budget, we've heard a lot of announcements from the finance minister, both when it comes to small businesses and also tech and digital for small businesses. How are you reading those comments, in terms of an opportunity? How are you really viewing that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is a very welcome initiative by the government, and want to congratulate Honorable Finance Minister because MSME is the core of any economy, and in India with almost 30% odd GDP coming from this sector, it is very important that you have a long-term vision of how we want to enable. So I'm very excited that there is a long-term plan which is put in place, and that gives tremendous opportunity for the sector to really sunshine and take business to a very different level and add to huge economical growth for the country. Another thing is, this is also a sector which provides maximum amount of jobs. And this will give an opportunity to a lot of Indian youth to really get the right level of job and opportunities. And this is the core to our economy. So I'm very, very happy that there is a lot of focus in this sector and a lot of initiatives are taken. And also from an IT hardware perspective, as I said, all these initiatives will lead to a lot of digital inclusion, and that gives us opportunity as business to participate both with government as well as with MSME sector to really enable growth and also contribute to the overall economy of the country and lift the overall vision what the government has laid out in the budget.
As a leader, Ketan, how would you rate your leadership capabilities, if I can call it that? What are the qualities do you think are essential for any leader to have?
Hey, more than talking about my leadership style, and leadership is such a broad topic, right? But let me give you perspective of mine in terms of what I firmly believe leadership should be doing or what a leader should be having. So I really firmly believe that the leader should have fundamentally four broad things. One, leader has to be inspirational because in various situations people look up to the leader. An inspirational leader always is important for everyone to look up to. Second thing, the leader has to be decisive, because there are going to be situations where you have be having good situation, not so good situation, but not taking decision is not the way. Decisiveness is something which is very, very important, and that's where I really feel a leader has to be absolutely firm in how he or she makes the decision. The third is around leader has to be empathetic, because end of the day, if you're not real, if you're not empathetic to your customers, to your partners, and to your employees, you will not understand the ground realities, and that will not give you right level of information to make the right level of decision making, which I just spoke about in a while back. And then last but not the least is about authenticity. End of the day, you have to be authentic as a leader in terms of whatever you say, whatever you believe in, so that people can really trust you. And as a leader, it is very important to really exhibit these qualities. And what more than 2020 as a year has taught that these leadership qualities are so critical, because if you are not on these four vectors which I just spoke about, you can't be a resilient company, you can't be a resilient leader who can really drive uncertainties in times like this. And this was an unprecedented year, but this kind of situations happens in businesses as well as managing difficult situations all the time. So this is what I really firmly believe in. I try to live up to this concept. Only my people and the people whom I deal with, they can talk about that. Do I really live up to this or not? But this is what I really firmly believe in.
What have been your biggest learnings then, Ketan?
So number one learning, I think, at HP, and I really am very proud of how HP really makes purpose beyond everything else. I think HP's purpose is, apart from doing business and making profits, which is very important for any company, there's a broader purpose of an organization, which is about really how do we create sustainable impact and how can we make this world a better place. And we are really focused on intervention from an HP standpoint in three areas. One is about planet, the way climate change and other issues the planet is facing, how a company like us can responsibly look at our products, solutions, services, interventions in order to really protect the planet. The second thing is about people, the kind of issues which we are facing globally on racial inequality, or how do we really look at diversity and inclusion as a core to what we do. I think that's another pillar which is very, very important in terms of how HP is driving this from the top. And the third is about communities, building communities and making sure that how can we use technology to really bridge the digital divide and making sure creating impact to lives of people and making changes forever. I think that's a big learning, that you need to have a purpose bigger than anything else. That's a big learning. The second thing which I feel big learning for me last year and also over the period of years within HP is how do you really be ready for any level of adversity? I think the pandemic year taught most of the leaders that you need to always have a plan A, plan B, and plan C. Because in a times of uncertainty, anything can happen, and hence it's very important to really create few levels of uncertainty planning and be ready, because that builds a lot of resiliency in terms of what you do. That's more from a business standpoint. And then if you look at from two other areas, which is a customer focus and employee focus. From a customer standpoint, how can you be customer centric in real sense? How are you taking inputs from customers on a regular basis? What are the avenues you have to really dialogue with customers? Because their needs are equally changing as fast as what our needs are changing as a company. So it's very important to understand that. And then you take care of your product, solutions, services to that level. And then last but not the least, life of employees is changing forever. Imagine the kind of fatigue they went through by working from home. It's never easy. So how do you really drive the right level of employee engagement initiatives? Now, more importantly, as the future of work is going to be hybrid workplace, these are some of the learnings which I feel are going to be very critical for me, broadly from a purpose standpoint, and then how can you really build resiliency in what you do.
The reason I'm asking is, you took over the height of the pandemic. You took over in June 2020. How did you prepare for what was a constantly and quickly evolving, situation and surrounding? What can you tell us about how you prepared yourself for that, and some insight, some advice then you'd have for someone watching today's interview?
So for me, coming back to India was not that difficult because this was a known territory for me. So that way it was relatively easy for me to settle, and hence it helped me a lot for sure. And then of course a lot of my colleagues in the company helped me to really settle very fast, and I'm very thankful to them. And similarly, a lot of customers and partners whom I interacted immediately after I came in gave me a lot of insights of how to really deal with the situation, and how we can really be ready of understanding their needs, as I said earlier, and get ourselves to take care of the right level of value creation for them. And so to me the short answer is it's like you need to be talking to your customers, and if you are in a business where you have partners and also employees, on a constant basis to really get the pulse of the situation, and then be ready to adjust your working patterns in order to be relevant, because things were changing so rapidly and the kind of transformation which was happening was just at a mind-boggling pace, and it was very important to really adjust to that and change yourself. And so adaptability was a big thing which I feel was very helpful to me, and I'm sure a lot of leaders did the same thing in their various fields. And my advice to entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs are born, I would say they understand adaptability more than anyone else. I think they just need to be more ready for adversities and get themselves ready with plan A, plan B, plan C, adopt technology as a core to everything what you do. And I think people will continue to do very well, as Indian entrepreneurs have been doing for years.
All right, Ketan, good having you here on the show tonight.
Thank you so much. It was really nice interacting today.
Completely out of time on the Leaders of Tomorrow Icons interview. If you have any feedback for us, our details coming up on your screens as we speak. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.